held this session today is so that we get to share and talk about graphic design as an introduction for maybe someone who might be interested. Now, by show of hands, or maybe give me a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen, if by any chance you've interacted with graphic design before. Kama kitambo, you found yourself looking at graphic design, you can actually give us a thumbs up. Okay. Can see a good number of people are actually saying that they've gotten to hear a thing or two on the graphic design. Now, in this particular session, who is willing to share and tell us? Who is willing to share and tell us about their journey in graphic design? Who? Okay, Brian Kiprono, I think you can go ahead. Tell us about your journey with graphic design.
Hello.
Yes, Kiprono.
I've not been in graphic design.
Mm-hmm.
I was raising hand in the other issue you was asking about the journey design.
About?
Sorry, I was hand before the other question you had asked before.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for joining in. Now, today we will enlighten each other on graphic design itself. Thank you everyone for being part of this. I think it's important that we mention that we're also streaming this particular session live on TikTok. So we are also live on TikTok. I think we have 115 people on TikTok and we have 103 on Google Meet. So I just want to welcome you to this particular session today. And I'm so glad to actually have a good number of you guys over here. So today we're going to be talking about graphic design. And we will be starting the graphic design bootcamp on the 8th of May, running all the way to the 8th of August, 2024. That is something I just wanted to make it to let you know. And the reason we're actually doing it for 3 months is so that we can have a comprehensive structuring of this particular skill itself. Now, remember, well, for the sessions, we are not really covering, the theories. We are mostly going to be looking at the practical examples of what you can do in graphic design. So like a brief example would be something like designing a logo, something like designing a poster, something like designing a flyer, something like even coming up with a company profile. How many guys over here have heard of a company profile? Wangapi wamesikia about a company profile over here? Give me a thumbs up if you've heard of a company profile. Yeah. Most of the time, nowadays you're finding that nowadays you're always finding that there is always a need for a graphical element that has to be created for a business, for a company, for an individual, for a brand. Now, the reason I'm using a company profile is because with company profile design, it's probably one of the best ways for you to actually get to monetize graphic design. Now, brief example. So before we get into the intricacies of graphic design itself, brief example. Someone comes and tells you, I have registered a business, I have registered a company, this is my particular business and we offer the following services. Now, the next thing that has to come to your mind is how you can actually present or represent what this particular person is telling you in form of a document. That is what we refer to as a company profile, which is part of graphic design. Now, by show of hands, or maybe give me a thumbs up, how many guys over here can design company profiles? Sorry, can design logos? How many guys can design a logo over here? Yeah. Lakini usijichoche sana. But anyway, it's good for you to actually get to know that. Anyway, let's just move on. So we're going to be mastering graphic design in 3 months for 90 days. That is basically the session that you're going to be having. We're going to be talking about graphic design for a period of 90 days. And it's going to really be an amazing session. For personally, I believe that we all need to get the necessary information there is when it comes to, graphic design itself. And maybe just something worth noting is that our sessions, as I said earlier, are actually going to be practical, very, very practical indeed, for you to get to grasp everything there is about graphic design. So, first question is, what is graphic design? To someone in this particular session, who can define what graphic design is? Who can tell me what graphic design is? In this particular session, if you're willing, who can tell me what graphic design is? You can raise your hand if you want to define graphic design. Yeah. If you would like to actually define graphic design, you can raise your hand. Si mtu mmoja inue mikono. Even if you want to say hi and you don't know what graphic design is, it's still okay. Anyway, for the purposes of time, because we should be done by 9:30, actually 9:20, I think it's important to observe people's time. So graphic design. Joyce Kanyere, what is graphic design? Wewe ndio umeinua mkono.
Hello, Elvis.
Hello, Joyce.
Graphic design, it's a
Mhm,
craft where
mhm,
you create visual content to communicate
mhm.
messages to people.
It's a craft where you create visual messages to
Visual
communicate to
content,
visual
visual
content to
content
communicate. Uh-huh.
to communicate message to people.
Very nice. A round of applause to Joyce for that. I think it's an amazing definition. Um, that is, yeah, it's quite a good definition. Uh, Eric Madhaka, what is graphic design according to you?
Hello everyone.
Hello, Eric. I
Hello.
don't know. Uko kwa kelele, we cannot hear you well. We cannot hear you well.
Hello.
Yes, Eric. Unapotea, we cannot hear you
Yeah,
so well.
sorry
Okay.
for the noise.
Yeah, Eric, let's just move on because hatukupati vizuri, but we'll probably try in the next particular session. Downing Ochieng. Downing Ochieng anasema that graphic design is the art or skill of combining text and pictures in advertisements. I think it really makes sense. A round of applause to Downing Ochieng. It's a very nice definition. So generally, graphic design is the art of creating what? Visual content to communicate messages. Now, let's just go back to the poster I actually showed you over here, the poster. Now, what if you look at this particular poster, however simple it is we've created the visual content to actually communicate and share a message. Which message are we actually sharing? We are sharing that we have a 90-day graphic design bootcamp starting on the 8th of May to the 8th of August 2024. And we have a full explanation on what it entails. So that is basically graphic design. And graphic design, very simply, is the art of creating visual content to communicate messages. Now, you use images, colors, and text. All right. Now, graphic designers actually arrange elements in a way that catches the eye and conveys specific ideas or messages effectively. Now, like someone might come and take a poster. How many guys voted in 2022? Wangapi hapa walipiga kura 2022? How many guys voted? How many guys voted in 2022? Give me a thumbs up if you voted in 2022. Kama ulipiga piga kura in 2022. Okay. As you can see, many people actually voted. And the reason as to why you voted is probably a poster. How many guys met billboards, banners, flyers? Ulipatana na hizi vitu zote on social media. How many? Yeah. So ideally, if you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, as a graphic designer, your role is using images, colors, and text. And what are you trying to do? You're trying to create eye-catchy designs to actually convey specific messages or to specific ideas or messages effectively. How many guys have probably been around Nairobi and you've seen some big billboards, the Optica? How many guys have seen billboards by insurance companies? How many guys have seen billboards by this company called Clean It? How many guys have seen billboards by Safaricom, Airtel? All this is graphic design that has first of all been done because what you're doing is you're combining images, colors, and text. And what you do is you arrange the elements in a way that catches the eye and conveys a specific idea or message effectively. Now, this can actually include everything from, first of all, you can design a logo, you can create an advertisement, all right, and you can also create a layout of a magazine. Yes, we are recording the session. Now, these basically means that if, like, how many guys said over here they can create a logo? How many guys walisema hapa they can create a logo over here? I can see a good number of people are saying that they can actually create logos, which is very good anyway. The whole idea of talking about graphic design is that you're able to actually convey a specific message using various elements, arranging them in a formal way. You can use text, you can use images, anything else. Now, why does someone have to learn graphic design? That's a question I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you have to learn graphic design? The first reason is communication. Now, graphic design itself helps you, all right, effectively communicate ideas visually. How many guys have wangapi wameenda crusade? Let me just ask. Juu mara mingi Kenya, the most posters utakutana nazo ni za crusade. How many guys have gone to crusades? Which crusade have you gone to na haikuwa na poster? Which crusade? Hata kama ilikuwa poster ya black and white. How many guys have gone to crusades? Umeenda, naona watu wanasema they've gone to crusades. I think it's still good to see that people have still gone to crusades. Yeah. But it's very, very good. So the first thing is, in graphic design, when you learn graphic design, you're able to communicate effectively. Like, assuming another example, I'm looking for another example. Which example? I'm trying to look for something that is quite common with many of us. How many guys have seen posters za Safaricom kila mahali? Safaricom home fiber, tunukiwa, umeambiwa sijui fanya nini. How many guys have seen that? It is an easy way to actually communicate using that particular element, or basically that particular design, which is a poster. And the reason as to why you find people doing that, creating such designs, is basically to, first of all, communicate. And in graphic design itself, as a graphic designer, you're able to actually communicate. Now, this is actually crucial for both personal and professional contexts. Now, most of the time, I'm telling people that you can learn graphic design not only as something to upgrade your professional career, but at the same time, you can even do it for your own personal use. Like a brief example, how many guys over here normally have like family gatherings? Family gatherings. There is this family I saw. There are so many. Ni wengi sana. Like when they do a family gathering, I think the family gathering itself is going to have like probably minimum is like probably 60 people minimum. So what these guys know, and what these guys actually do, is that they create a poster and then they share it in the family groups because it's not one. And you see, ideally, it's a form of personal use of graphic design to actually, first of all, communicate. So one reason that you can actually get to learn graphic design is for communication. Number two is career opportunities. Now, there are very many strong, there's a high demand and a huge demand for skilled graphic designers in various industries, including publishing, advertising, web design, and corporate communications. Like currently, I'll not lie to you, probably every business in Nairobi is looking for a graphic designer. Probably. All right. And the reason I've said probably is because you will go to you will go into the CBD and realize that one graphic designer is servicing close to 20 businesses. And that is not no lie. Like, for example, for me, I normally get like on a weekly basis, sikosi job yenye naambiwa tengeneza letterhead, tengeneza poster. These are normal things that you're going to find. Like, I'll give you a brief example why I'm talking about career opportunities. Someone is running a shop that sells laptops. So this particular person is always looking for someone who can actually take photos of their products and create something very good to be shared on social media. A brief example of that is a poster. And the only person who can actually conceptualize something like this creatively is a graphic designer. So learning graphic design itself is actually going to give you opportunities, career opportunities. We also have web design. Web design is another very important skill that I think probably everyone should actually be getting, whether for personal use or professional use. But there is a lot of career opportunities that come with graphic design. Now we move on. The next thing is creativity and self-expression. Now, learning graphic design allows you to express yourself creatively, giving you a powerful tool to share your vision and ideas. Now, the reason I've actually added this particular reason is umaifungua post ya mtu Facebook ukaiangalia ukasema sasa huyu mbona ameposti kitu, and then you open a post of someone else. Like I want you to look at the posts that some guys post on social media zenye ziko na some graphics, iko na some creativity. unaona huyu msee ametolewa background, hiyo picha imeeditiwa, it looks very nice, like ameweka a very nice thing over there. It's something pretty normal that you find in graphic design. Like for me, I'm always using graphic design. I think, let me just share my screen with you so that you can actually see it. I'm hoping you guys can see my screen. You can see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. All right, very, very good. Now, if you look at this is my LinkedIn profile. And LinkedIn is probably one of the best professional networking platforms that exists. Every day I'm using graphic design like this, like this. Like if you look at this very simple post over here, this very simple post, this is graphic design in application. Yeah, like if you look at this post, what I only did was take my photo and add a very simple thing. This is graphic design. Now, as compared to actually just putting this photo ikiwa peke yake, you'll find that the more you're able to actually creatively express yourself, you even feel good because you have that particular graphic design skill. All right, now let me move on. The second thing is digital proficiency. Now, as we move further into the digital age, having graphic design skills ensures that you're proficient with key technologies and software, first of all, such as Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and web design tools. You have become a web developer. You've decided to now get into mobile application development. You've decided to get into digital marketing. You've decided that you're now going to get into data analysis. At one point, let me not lie to you, you'll find yourself needing that graphic design skill. Like how many guys can change the image? How many guys can remove a background from an image over here? If you're here and you know that nikikupatia picha yako, you can remove the background. You know, ideally, we all need to have that understanding that graphic design, yes, is a digital skill and it is on high demand. In fact, that you're now you're realizing that if you only learned graphic design to do your own things, you can actually be better. Like ukipigwa picha na photographer and then they send you a photo yenye haijikai, being able to use Adobe Photoshop, unaweza fanya tu madoido hapo hivyo and you make your photo very good. So again, at the same time, we are talking about learning graphic design as part and parcel of being digitally proficient. So that's another reason that you're talking about why you should learn graphic design. Are we together up to this point, ladies and gentlemen? You can give me a thumbs up if you're together. Kama tuko pamoja. Okay, good. Freelancing flexibility. I'm telling you, if there is something that is sweet and at the same time it's hard, is freelancing. How many guys over here are freelancers? How many guys over here are freelancers? Give me a thumbs up if you're a freelancer. Now, a freelancer is not employed. You have to understand that. A freelancer is not employed. So let me explain to you graphic design in terms of freelancing. There are two main freelancing platforms. The first freelancing platform is called Fiverr. The second platform is called Upwork. How many guys have heard of those particular platforms? How many guys? How many guys? Now, what these particular platforms actually allow you to do is that they allow you to sell your services to anyone in the world at any place at any time. A client is going to call you is probably going to reach out to you on these platforms in a country like the United States. Probably they've seen your graphic design portfolio and they're telling you, hey, chief, we want you to design a logo for us. As you can see, you can actually do that logo in Kenya and send it to the client all the way in the United States. And that's the big thing and the most important thing of having the internet. Hii internet imekuja kusaidia sana. Let me not lie to you. Kitambo, if a graphic designer was to work, alikuwa anafanya kazi kwa ofisi, and they do a design, you have to be there. Kama ni poster, uko hapo. Kama ni flyer, uko hapo. Nowadays, you can even work for a client akiwa United States, in any part of the world, and you're in your house. That is what we refer to as freelancing flexibility. And graphic design is one of those skills that allows you to freelance effectively. You can do something we refer to as local freelancing and international freelancing. Local freelancing. Brief example. I'm in Nairobi myself. A client all the way from, let's say a client from Kisumu. They call me and they tell me, Elvis, tuliona poster fulani yako ulikuwa umetengeneza ya graphic design bootcamp. We want something similar. So what this client is actually going to expect from you is that you create something of the same sort. They don't care about where you are. They don't even want to come to where you are. What they want you to do is deliver. So here's the thing. You tell them you will design that particular poster and then you're going to send it to them as a sample on WhatsApp. When you send it to them, the client is going to say, hii kazi iko sawa, badilisha hii, send me the final file and tell me where to pay you. M-Pesa. Mobile money has made it very easy to access payments from any part of the world. During COVID, I remember hiyo ndio wakati tulikuwa tunakafunga proper. Because like during COVID, now everyone was forced to work from home. And by then, freelancing and remote work in Kenya started coming up so fast. And people who had those particular digital skills like graphic design, video editing, walikuwa wanakulia vizuri. So that is what we refer to as freelancing flexibility. And graphic design skills actually open up freelancing opportunities, allowing you to work independently from anywhere in the world on projects that you're passionate about. Now, graphic design itself enhances problem solving. Designing often involves solving complex visual problems, which can help enhance your critical thinking and problem solving skills. Someone comes and tells you, Elvis, I need you to design a few posters for me. And the posters I need you to design is that we need you to design posters that just illustrate that we have an event. Or even rather, let me just show you something we worked on today. So I have this friend of mine, his name is Brian Karanja. Brian also happens to be one of our students, and he's been learning how to do graphic design. So he reached out to me and told me that he's gotten a job to actually design a company profile. Na akaniambia mimi nimsaidie kutengeneza that particular company profile. Well, it's an amazing, not a company profile, a hotel menu. So what we did, let me just share what we did. Let me just share what we did. I just want to share what we did, ladies and gentlemen. Some guys have not unmuted their microphone. So I'm hoping you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? I'm hoping you can see my screen at this point. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, very good. So this is what we worked on today. And this is a menu. Like if you look at it, this is a menu we worked on today. This is the menu that we did work on today. And it's very simple. Like it's very, very simple, by the way. Very, very simple if you look at it. This is a menu. Not much. We've not done a lot of things. If you look at this, we only used graphic design skills to actually come up with this particular menu. Hii ukituma uitishe 15,000 to any hotelier or probably ask for it, they'll say it's okay. Now, we are talking about problem solving. Someone's problem is what you do to provide a solution to them. Someone might say, mimi sinanga, niko na hoteli, sina menu. Can you design a menu for me? Yes. How much will you charge? 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000. It all depends on you. So the more you're able to actually solve people's problems, the more you improve on your problem solving skills and your critical thinking skills. Inakusaidia, by the way, inakufungua kichwa. Because let me not lie to you, this thing, and frankly, let me tell you how we designed this thing. We went to TRM, tulienda art cafe huko juu. We sat down for 2 hours and we designed this particular project. I think I actually have to open it on Illustrator so that you can actually see it. So let me just open it up, because the software we used for this particular design was Adobe Illustrator. How many guys are familiar with Adobe Illustrator over here? Wangapi wanajua Adobe Illustrator? Give me a thumbs up if you've heard of Adobe Illustrator anywhere. Yeah. This is Adobe Illustrator. This is Adobe Illustrator itself. And if you look at this particular menu, hii ni mtu alikuwa ameamua kutengeneza hii kitu yote. And it was up to us to actually come up with this particular design. Sisi ndo we were tasked with actually delivering on this particular project. And that's why I'm always telling guys that the more you're able to actually solve people's problems, the more you even improve your critical thinking. Like for us, hii ilikuwa kazi. Coming up with this whole design was something that really took time. And for sure, if you sit down, like if you look at all these sketches, hizi vitu zote, this one was trial and error. and then you end up to actually create something like this. Everything over here is actually editable. You can actually change it. It improves, as we've said, learning graphic design actually enhances your problem solving skills. All right. So let me just move on to the next part. Okay. Yeah. Now, sorry. The next thing is professional development. Now, graphic design skills themselves are actually high valued in the job market, enhancing your resume and providing a competitive edge in job applications. So let me tell you my story. I joined university in 2015. Mimi si mzee sana. Most guys think that nakaa niko na miaka 50. I'm not 50, I'm very young. I joined university in 2015. Nikajoin university inaitwa Dedan Kimathi University. I joined university to do what? Nilijoin university kufanya procurement. When I joined to do procurement, and to those guys on TikTok, if you would like to join us, we are actually live on Google Meet. You can click the link in my TikTok bio and join the session. We are having the session live on Google Meet, so you can actually just come and join. So I joined university in 2015. Mi niliingia kufanya procurement. How many guys have done procurement over here? How many guys have done procurement? How many guys have done procurement? I can see a good number of people have actually, hamutaki kujisema, but most of us are actually here. So when I joined university to do procurement, I obviously kuna ile tu ka expectation you want to finish school by the time you're done upate job ya serikali kulipe 150,000. Hardly did I know that I was not the only one who was thinking like that. Kuna watu wengine milioni kaa tatu. All of them were thinking like that. And you see, you cannot actually just sit down and say that juu kimeumana kimeumana. You actually have to start thinking of what else you can personally do to actually get to improve yourself. So I happened to actually have had this chance to get introduced to graphic design. Mi nikaanza kuambiwa story ya graphic design and how I can actually get to make something from graphic design. And I remember I was training myself from I trained myself graphic design with classes, courses na hizi vitu zote 2015, 2016. 2017 we went on holiday. And believe you me when I'm telling you this that I got a job. Na sikupata job ya procurement. I got a job working as a graphic designer in Nanyuki. And 2017, if you remember, we had elections. And in these elections, there was a demand for graphic designers. And enyewe nilikafunga. That is what we refer to as professional development. Now, if you're someone like probably working in IT, or probably you just want to scale up, graphic design is probably one of those skills I would personally recommend. Now, the graphic design bootcamp, as we wind up, ladies and gentlemen, the first reason as to why I would recommend that you attend the graphic design bootcamp is because you're going to be getting instruction from me. I've been a graphic designer for over 5 years now. I run my own agency. It's called Terra Creations. I think I have to actually just open up a website over here. So this business, I started it when I was in university. When I was in university, nikaona yenyewe procurement IGP. Una perform too, but it's hard for you to get a job. So I started my own agency. It's called Terra Creations. It's a registered agency in Kenya. We are headquartered in Westlands, Western Heights, just behind Sarit Center. And what we do is basically offer graphic design services as well as web design services. So I believe I'm an expert in that, and I'll share what I've personally learned myself. And I'll also bring in about real world insights on what you can do, like the developments that we have in graphic designs, the design that can actually help you as a person. The second thing is hands-on learning. Now, instead of looking at graphic design in terms of what is graphic design, what are the qualities of a graphic designer, what is the disadvantage of a graphic designer, what are the merits and the demerits of being a graphic designer, we're not really going to be dwelling so much on that. We're going to be much more practical. How can you get to design something? How can you actually get to do something from that particular skill? So that is what we have as another reason as to why you should attend the bootcamp itself. Then you have skill enhancement. So for example, if you're a beginner, how many guys are beginners over here? Hujaisikia graphic design mahali? How many guys you've never heard of graphic design? Now, as a matter of fact, because for mimi nilianzishiwa graphic design using Microsoft Word. How many guys use Microsoft Word hapa? How many guys use Microsoft Word? Nilianzishwa graphic design with Microsoft Office Word, and then nikapelekwa to Microsoft Publisher. How many guys have heard of Publisher? Publisher. Kuna ingine ilikuwa inaitwa PageMaker. How many guys know PageMaker? PageMaker, boomers might know it. PageMaker ya kutengeneza receipts, ya kutengeneza wedding cards, ya kutengeneza sijui nini. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa inatumiwa kutengeneza exams. I think it was it. Not, I'm not very sure, but PageMaker is one of probably one of the most famous. It's like it's an advanced. Sorry, Adobe Illustrator is an advanced PageMaker because that is where it actually gets its roots. So skill enhancement is one of those things that we're actually going to be tackling on graphic design. We're also going to be talking about portfolio development. Mtu akikuuliza ile kazi umefanya. Nowadays, by the way, let me not lie to you. If someone wants to give you a job, they would rather see what you've done previously. What are these particular projects that you've done? Ni nini haswa umefanyia watu wengine? So we're also going to be looking at how you can actually develop your own portfolio. A portfolio is very necessary when it comes to creative skills like graphic design, video editing. We'll also get to look at that. Networking opportunities. As we get to work, as we get to even continue learning and continue on improving ourselves, we're also going to be networking. Networking in terms of kuongea na watu, just getting to understand what this particular person has, just being in a space of like-minded individuals. Career advancement. You find someone, probably you've been working in a job na haikubambi. You probably wanted to actually move on to something else. Well, this bootcamp is one of those reasons that you can actually get into. That is one of the reasons that is career advancement is one of the reasons that you can actually get into the bootcamp itself. And yeah, that's another thing. Then we have, it's a flexible learning environment. Flexible in terms of our sessions are actually going to be happening every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So it's very flexible. Kama umeandikwa kazi, if you're employed, if probably you're a student and you're just looking for a way that you can actually just learn flexibly, this is one of the sessions that you can actually get to attend. Then we have immediate applicability. From the sessions themselves, I don't think ni hizi ni zile sessions zenye unamalizanga and then you start looking for a job. This is one of the sessions that you get to learn and then you get to practice what you learn. Like if you learn how to create a poster, automatically you know that as a person you can wake up in the morning and then go ahead and design a poster na ulipwe 500. It makes sense. So that is what we refer to as immediate applicability. Then we have inspiration and creativity. Now, being in a dynamic creative environment with other designers can inspire new ideas and approaches, enhancing your creative output. So what we mean by this is that every single weekend, we're actually going to be working on projects, minimum of 2 projects and maximum of 5. So in the WhatsApp group, we will allow you to share your projects. Like if you work on a logo, if we agree that we're going to be working on a logo, and we agree that leo tuna design logo inakaa hivi na hivi, you will share it on the WhatsApp group and people will get to see what you've created. Mwenye atakuwa ametengeneza kali zaidi, obviously people are going to be pleased, and it's also going to allow you to actually get correction. The good thing is that most of the people who actually join these particular sessions that we hold are really mature people, so hakuna penye we are going to be critiquing you na kukutusi. That's one thing, but it's ideally to bring in inspiration and creativity, to help you. Like poster umetengeneza, you can change the font, you can change the color. So ideally that's it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from me. It's a brief introduction into the graphic design bootcamp. I remember we will also be recording the sessions. So here's the thing. Majorly, a lot of people are normally stuck with virtual sessions because unaogopa that if you miss that particular session, you'll never get to see it again. And most of the time, most tutors don't record these particular sessions. Well, for me, I record all my sessions, each and every session. And after I record each session, I always make sure that it is available on a learning management system. So what I mean by a learning management system is this. Is like, for example, in 20 months, or even let's say in 5 months, if you wanted to know what you did specifically on a particular date, you can actually go back and access it. So, like for example, if today we tackled how to design a poster in like 1 hour, and unaona kuna mahali you are stuck, you'll not have to worry about having to redo it. You can actually just go back, watch the recorded session, and you'll have the ability to actually do it yourself. Now, majority of the guys who've been part of our sessions from January up to now, most of them have actually been able to access the sessions through the through basically the learning management system. We've had all our sessions virtually. So it means that penye uko, you can always access the sessions. Like for example, ukichokea in the session at 30 minutes, ukisikia usingizi imekuweza, you can as well go ahead and take a nap. And tomorrow you can actually just come back and proceed on with where you left. Again, it's also important to mention that we are going to be providing you with software. We are also going to be providing you with images. Now, images are actually going to be courtesy of freepik.com. How many guys know of Freepik? Wangapi wamesikia Freepik? Yeah, we will actually be using freepik.com itself. I'll be sharing everything. Like, for example, if you are going to be using something. Now, Freepik, just to mention, Freepik is the resource that you use as a graphic designer. Now, like, for example, if you wanted to get like a logo design, like an inspiration, hujui venye unaweza design logo, but you'd like to get some inspirations, you can actually just go to freepik.com and you're going to get quite a number of samples. Again, we'll also use a website called dafont.com. Dafont.com is going to allow you to get fonts. So this is one website we're going to be using a lot of times. We'll get to download fonts. We'll also use another website called Google Fonts. How many guys have heard of Google Fonts before? Yeah, we'll also get to use Google Fonts to get fonts for when we are doing graphic design itself. So this is another website that we're going to be using as we proceed on. Something else maybe I've forgotten is it's really important to state that every session is going to start at 8 p.m. and at 10 p.m. We're not going to be going past 10 p.m. And the reason for doing that is so that we can respect the time ya wale wasi wenye wanaamkanga asubuhi mapema to actually get to go and work. But however, it's also important that we're really going to be having a session that is, first of all, it's going to be much more of like a classroom. What I mean by this is we'll have some regular zinaitangwa quizzes. And these quizzes are actually just meant to refreshen your mind. Like if we have a session today, we'll always have a quiz. And the quiz is not like kukuonyesha ati wewe ni mjinga or something. It's just something to open your mind. We've had it before where like when we were having our classes on computer and digital literacy, many guys like tulikuwa tunauliza maswali, what is a CPU? These and these, explain this. It's something normal. It helps you like stay aware. Unajaribu kurefresh pia. So that's another thing. Now, without maybe adding a lot of information, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to bring the session to a close. It's 9:14 p.m. Tomorrow is Labor Day. So before we proceed on, happy Labor Day to you guys. So if in any case, if you have a question, you can actually just raise your hand. You can actually raise your hand if you have a question. You can raise your hand. If in any case, if ukona swali. So Michael Osiako, you can ask your question. Michael Osiako, go ahead.
Hello, Elvis.
Yes, Michael.
I think this will be a guide. It will assist me because
Yes.
mi huwa nafanya cyber services but huwa nafunga YouTube na sijai kuwa na ile guide, so like huwa inakuanga na challenge, so I guess hii itanisaidia sana, so it will be great working with it.
Yes.
Nasema mi nafanyanga cyber services but sijai kuwa na hiyo mentoring in terms of graphic design, so like
you know, I used to work in a cyber. Na cyber unakuta client amekuja amekwambia tengeneza kwanza eulogies. Have you ever designed a eulogy?
Kusema kweli bado huona kwanga stuck on YouTube, so sijai kuwa na hiyo guidance na yani
Yeah.
tukuwa na hiyo direction, so it will be great working with you.
Yeah. We'll personally make sure that you're guided enough. You'll be very sure about it.
Okay, thank you.
Karibu sana. Rachel Sum. Is it Sum or Sam? I'm hoping I've gotten it right.
It is so.
Oh, Sum, eh? Okay.
Good evening, Elvis.
Good
Yes,
evening.
it's so.
Yes.
Yes, I wanted to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening to you, Elvis. How are you?
Good.
So I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I wanted to understand clearly. Like now, at this age and time, people are moving to AI, and
Mhm.
they are simplifying everything, even graphic designs with AI.
Mhm.
I really don't know. Is it valuable to learn this skill, or now do the AI itself?
Rachel, let me ask you a question. Huh? Rachel,
Mm.
Rachel,
Yes, I get you, Elvis. I get you. Yes, I'm hearing you.
who uses AI?
Yes, Elvis.
Like who is supposed to be using AI?
Uh the professionals
It's a human being who is
who are
supposed to be
skilled,
using AI.
probably.
It's a human being. It's a human being who is supposed to be using AI. And okay, there's this thing, and it's a friend who was actually telling it to me.
Yeah.
Like, Rachel, let me ask you: Have you created any design with AI?
Yes. Mm.
Rachel, okay, maybe before I proceed on, I think for me, I'll say something very clearly. Is when you know what you do as a
Mm.
person, AI is just meant to complement what you do, or basically, let me see, is it supplement to but whichever.
Mm.
Majority of guys in the creative field, even in
To
program,
complement.
yeah, they're all afraid that Sijui AI is going to replace. No, it's not really going to replace you. AI is actually going to replace human beings who don't use AI. That's the thing, because at the moment you can use AI to be more effective and efficient, as compared to just saying that kitambo, like for example, when I was creating a website, it would take a long time to create that particular website, and you get create within like 10 days. Now you're creating the same particular website in a period of like 2 months, because you need copywriters, you need all these people. We are not replacing them. We are only working effectively and efficiently. So for me, I wouldn't say that learning graphic design is in vain. As long as you know what you're doing and you know how to use AI effectively, that's one of the best things that you can do. In fact, if you walk around Nairobi today, you're going to find billboards of institutions that are saying that AI is here. It's the highest time we start getting educated on how to use it. It's the high time we get educated on how to actually create artificial intelligence programs. So for me, don't be afraid of that. I've been getting that every day. Unajua saa shida ni moja. Mimi toka Januari nimekuwa tu nikiambiwa AI is going to replace me. But every day I'm getting clients. How does that, which client is going to wake up in the morning? How many people do you think wanajua ati they can create something with AI? Not very many people. And if you know how to actually use AI effectively, then you charge for that. But for me, I wouldn't say that you need to be afraid of that. In fact, it is something meant to benefit you. Like if you're creating a company profile and you're a graphic designer, it's very easy for you to actually just go ahead and use ChatGPT to generate copies for that particular company profile that you're creating. So, in a nutshell, Rachel, I personally think that AI is here to, first of all, help us, not to replace us. It is here to make us work more effectively, efficiently, and even better. Like now, proofreading is very easy. You don't need to hire someone to do proofreading for 5 days. You can actually do it as a person. So the more you learn how to actually work with the AI, we're referring to that as artificial intelligence essentials. I think you're much better placed than someone who doesn't understand how to use AI. I hope I've really
Got it. Thank you.
karibu. Emmanuel
Yes, yes.
okay.
Okay.
Emmanuel Ochieng, go ahead.
Hello, Elvin.
Yes, Emmanuel.
Okay, for me, I'm having a question.
Mhm.
Earlier, you said that in that bootcamp, we should be using a laptop that is Core i5 and above.
Yes.
And as for me, I'm having this Toshiba C850. It's Core i3. Can it help out, or I should just look to replace something else?
Well, RAM yake ni ngapi?
RAM yake ni 4 GB.
I think I would personally, I don't want to lie to you and tell you that it's going to help you. Unajua sitaki ukiwa daro computer ikutolee blue screen of death. Itoe na you know, I would recommend, because these software are not, like, now they are heavy. I'll not lie to you. And I would recommend a minimum of a Core i5 and 8 gigs of RAM. However, it's important that you have like 16 gigs of RAM. And even if possible, have a computer that has a graphics card. That is something I recommend. Mara mingi, you can find yourself, I think graphic designers who are here, munajua, you're working on a project, umefanya kazi, when you're about to save. I think, how many guys have experienced that, even in a document, umefanya kazi. So it's important that you get a fast computer. That is one thing I really recommend. And the reason I'm saying this is because these particular software, especially Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, they are heavy. They are heavy. And even telling you 8 gigs of RAM, iko sawa, it's good, yes, it's going to suffice. But if you're working, kama ni wala watu wa kufanya vitu, open a lot of tabs at once, I would recommend you get a bit. Machine iko na specs poa. There's a person, kuna mtu niliona hadi alibuy machine iko na graphics card, which is very nice. It's a Lenovo Legion. Machine ya 250,000 just for this, which is good. But so that's something I would recommend.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mengos.
Hi, Elvis.
Hi, Mengos.
Am I really audible?
You're audible enough.
All right. Mine is just to... I'm looking forward for the bootcamp. Hizo siku 90 nimezingoja ni aje.
Umezingoja, lakini wewe si ushaanza kudhokoma with graphic design.
It's good to be part of graphic designers.
Anyway. That is Mengos anyway. Sawa. Karibu sana. Mengos, we're looking forward.
All right.
Karibu sana. Eric Otieno.
Swali nilikuwa nayo imepotea.
Imepotea? Bafa kidogo. Kwani blue screen of death? Yeah? Eric Otieno, go ahead.
Hi, Elvis.
Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
I'm doing, thank you. So I have a challenge, Elvis.
Yes.
I don't know whether there will be some session of daytime. My job working hours is not working well with the session, so it has even discouraged me to register.
Okay.
I start my job from evening until all the way to 5 to 11. So I don't know if there is a time. Yeah.
For you guys, by the way, it's not only you, because I've also had programmers, data scientists and data analysts who also wanted to be part of this, but saa shida ni wati wanaingia kazi usiku. Well, I don't know, but probably for you guys, we'll see about, hiyo tutafikiria, because we're also going to be having weekend classes. There are a number of people who've actually paid to attend. We'll be having physical classes in Westlands in our office for only 12 participants.
Okay.
So maybe we can figure out something on this.
Okay, then I'll reach out to you privately, maybe on WhatsApp.
No problem.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. Duncan Minor, I think
Yes, Elvis. Good evening.
Good evening, Duncan. How are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. I'm also so much eager to join the boot camp. I just have got one question.
Yes.
I'm kind of old school. I really love a PC compared to a laptop. Now, I just want to ask if currently I have an i5. I can't remember the GB, whether it's 8 or the RAM. I want to ask, is it possible to upgrade and even maybe in future install the graphic card?
I think it's possible, but it all depends on your computer. But however, I don't know why Duncan. But personally, let me tell you something, Duncan.
Yes.
I mostly recommend a laptop.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have like a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply?
Not yet.
The reason I recommend a laptop is probably you might be working on something, Steam azizime, yeah?
Okay. Okay.
And you see you'll lose your work progress. But with a laptop, as
Yes.
long as your laptop is charging, and it would be much helpful. At the same time, it's quite. Let me just put it out clearly. Like you can even with a laptop, you have the ability to actually move around with it. Unaweza enda mahali uketi chini, you practice.
Yes.
Duncan, unajua CPU sasa huwezi weka kwa gunia uende na yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, but maybe we can start with it.
Yeah.
Then as time goes by, we can move on and get a laptop.
Yeah, I do actually have a laptop, but I actually gonna upgrade it also. It's just that, okay, of course, I've also lost a number of them in my cars. They get broken, they are stolen. One was taken from my office. So, but I love the fact that my PC, I just find it where it was, you know. But I'll still get a laptop, yeah.
Yes, I think it's probably maybe I can say for you to prevent you from over investing, maybe we can work with a laptop for now, and then as with the PC for now, and then as time goes by, you can actually develop now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I also wanted to mention something. If I'll be sharing two links with you guys. First of all, the first link I'm going to be sharing is Adobe Photoshop CC 2020, and the second one is Adobe Photoshop CC 2021. So download this particular software and install them on your computer. It's very easy. You download them, you extract, and then you click on the setup file. You install them. So if you want to know whether your computer is actually valid enough to actually work on graphic design, ita install. Ikikataa, then automatically your computer is not really meant to be doing that particular is not really meant to hold that particular software. So I'm going to be sharing the software with you. Paul Denzel, go ahead.
Hello, Elvis. How are you?
Yes, Paul.
I don't have a question, just to appreciate you for also giving us this first session to know what is expected of us.
Okay.
Thank you. You're doing a good job. Thank you.
Asante, nashukuru sana. Will you be part of the sessions?
Not yet. I'm thinking of something.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Karibu anyway. All right. I think I'm going to be taking the next question from Alice Wateto. Go ahead. Alice. Okay. Karen, go ahead.
Hi, Elvis.
Hi, Karen. How are you doing?
I'm good. I also wanted to thank you for these sessions. I was eagerly waiting for the graphic design session because it was going to be a long one. And I know we're going to have a great platform and learn more. So I really appreciate a lot.
Asante. I appreciate. Asante sana, Karen. A round of applause to Karen. She's been part of our sessions toka siku ya kwanza. It is very, very good. Thank you so much, Karen. Asante. Who is the next person? Watu wameinua mikono wote once. It's already 9:31 p.m. So I'll only take just a few questions from people who've not Peter Waweru, go ahead.
Hello, Elvis.
Yes, Peter, how are you doing?
I'm very fine. Huh?
Uh-huh.
This is Peterson.
Yes, I know that.
Nilikuwa mimi ni I'm just encouraging guys to join for the boot camp. Bana, huku nje kuna pesa. Waulize Mengo, satawaambia huku nje kuna pesa. Great, thank you.
Asante. Wewe unakaa umeonja zimekubamba.
Saizi limeje tu nimechoka, nimeingia tu saizi napata session kuisha inaisha.
No worries, but we've actually recorded the session. Now, I think because with respect to time, I think it's already 9:32. Let's just bring the session to an end over there. Si vizuri tuendelee because as I said it's from 8:30 to 9:30. But in any case, if you want to be part of the sessions, there is a number iko hapo. Using that particular number, you can contact me directly. It's you can contact me through this number. This is 0011-566-1135. If in any case you might be interested in our sessions, you can always contact me over there. And I'm very sure we can talk about something. So we're going to be starting next week. And I'm really hoping that we get started in a good note. We're going to be having very friendly sessions. So in any case, Pia, if you want to ask your question, because for the purposes of time, I would really appreciate if you just reach out to me directly on WhatsApp and send your message over there. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being part of this particular session. To the guys on TikTok Live, asante sana for being live in this session. It's good. Naendanga live mara mingi najipata na watu watano. But thank you so much for at least getting to 60. So, mara mingi najikutana nikiwa na live na watu which is good. But anyway, thank you guys for being in this particular session today. I just want to wish everyone a good night and enjoy yourself. I'm looking forward to having you in these particular classes. Asante sana and have yourselves a good night.